Hello everyone, I'm Jason, and welcome back to BetterTalk English, the channel where we make English simple, practical, and real. Today, we're talking about something many learners struggle with. You may know a lot of words and grammar, but your English still doesn't sound natural. If that sounds familiar, this episode is exactly what you need. Let's fix that together. So here's the big question. What does natural English actually mean? It doesn't mean perfect grammar or difficult vocabulary. It means sounding relaxed, smooth, and easy to understand. It means speaking the way real people actually speak, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Many learners sound robotic when they speak English, not because they are bad, but because they learn from textbooks only. Textbooks often teach correct English, but not natural English. That's why your sentences may be right, but still feel strange. And that's completely normal. The good news is that sounding natural is a skill you can learn. You don't need talent or a special accent. You just need the right habits and practice. Small changes in how you speak can make a big difference. And today, I'll show you 7 simple ways to do that. Let's start with the first way, and that is using contractions. Native speakers almost always use contractions in daily speech. Instead of saying, I am, they say, I'm. Instead of do not, they say, don't. When you avoid contractions, your speech sounds too formal. It feels like you are reading from a book. But real conversations are relaxed and fast. Contractions help you sound more natural immediately. So start using them as much as possible. The second way is to learn phrases, not just single words. Many learners memorize vocabulary one word at a time, but native speakers use groups of words together. These are called chunks or phrases. For example, instead of learning just go, learn go ahead or go for it. These phrases are used in real conversations all the time. When you learn them as a whole, you speak faster and your English sounds more natural. The third way is to use common expressions. Native speakers often use small phrases like you know, kind of, or actually. These words don't always change the meaning much, but they make your speech sound more real. Without these expressions, your English can sound too direct or unnatural. Adding them makes your speech softer and more human. It also helps you sound more fluent, so try to include them in your conversations. The fourth way is to improve your pronunciation by copying native speakers. This method is called shadowing. You listen to a sentence and repeat it immediately. Try to copy not just the words, but also the tone and rhythm. This helps you sound more natural over time. It trains your mouth and your ears at the same time. At first, it may feel difficult, but with practice, it becomes much easier. The fifth way is to focus on rhythm, not just words. English has a natural flow and stress pattern. Some words are stressed and others are softer. This creates a rhythm in speech. If you speak word by word, your English sounds robotic, but if you follow the rhythm, it sounds smooth. Listening carefully can help you notice this, and then you can practice copying it. The sixth way is to listen to real conversations every day. This can be podcasts, videos, or interviews. The more you listen, the more familiar English becomes. You start to understand how people really speak. Finally, the seventh way is to stop translating in your head. When you translate, your speech becomes slow and unnatural. You are thinking in one language and speaking in another. This creates delay and confusion. Instead, try to think directly in English. Start with simple thoughts and build from there. This will make your speech faster and more natural. It takes time, but it is very powerful. If you practice these 7 methods regularly, you will see real improvement. Your English will start to sound smoother and more confident. You will feel more comfortable speaking, and most importantly, you will enjoy the process more. Now that you understand the 7 ways, the next step is to apply them consistently. Knowing these ideas is helpful, but using them daily is what creates results. Many learners understand tips but do not practice them enough. That is why progress feels slow. Action is always the key. Let's go back to contractions for a moment. Try to notice them when you listen to English content. You will hear them almost everywhere in natural speech. Native speakers rarely use full forms in casual conversation. The more you notice them, the easier it becomes to use them. You can also practice contractions by repeating simple sentences. For example, say, "I am ready," and then say, "I'm ready." Feel the difference in speed and flow. The second one sounds more natural and relaxed. This small change has a big impact. Now think about phrases again. When you learn a new phrase, do not just understand it, try to use it in different sentences. This helps your brain remember it better. It also makes it easier to use in real conversations. For example, take a phrase like, "I think so." You can use it in many situations. Practice saying it in different tones and contexts. This builds flexibility in your speaking. It also helps you sound more natural. Common expressions are also something you should practice actively. Words like actually, basically, or you know appear very often. Try to listen for them in conversations, then use them in your own speech. This will make your English feel more real. But remember, do not overuse these expressions. Using them too much can sound unnatural as well. Balance is important in everything. Use them where they feel natural. This comes with practice. Let's talk again about shadowing. This is one of the most powerful techniques you can use. Choose a short audio clip and repeat it several times. Focus on copying the exact sound. This improves your pronunciation and rhythm. At first, you may not be able to match the speaker perfectly. That is completely normal. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each time you practice, you improve a little. Over time, your speech becomes smoother. Now think about rhythm again. English is not flat or monotone. It has ups and downs in sound. Some words are stressed more than others. This creates a natural flow. If you ignore rhythm, your speech may sound robotic. But when you follow it, your English sounds alive. Listening carefully helps you notice these patterns. Then you can practice using them. Daily listening is something you should never skip. Even 10 to 15 minutes can make a difference. Choose content that you enjoy and understand. This keeps you motivated. Listening helps you absorb natural language without effort. You hear how sentences are built and used. This improves your speaking over time. It is a simple but powerful habit. Now let's return to the idea of thinking in English. This is not something that happens instantly. It takes practice and patience. Start with simple thoughts during your day. For example, describe what you are doing in English. Think about your plans or your surroundings. This trains your brain to use English directly. Over time, it becomes more natural and automatic. As you continue practicing these methods, you will begin to notice small changes in your speech. Your sentences will come out faster and with less hesitation. This is a sign that your brain is adapting. You are starting to use English instead of translating it. That is real progress. Many learners expect big results very quickly, but in reality, improvement happens step by step. Each small practice session builds your skill little by little. You may not notice it every day, but it adds up. Consistency always wins in the long run. One helpful habit is to repeat useful phrases every day. Repetition helps your brain store language more effectively. When you repeat something enough times, it becomes automatic. You no longer need to think about it. This makes your speech faster and smoother. You can also create short daily speaking routines. For example, talk about your day every evening. Use simple language and focus on flow. Do not stop too much to think about grammar. Keep your speech going. Another important idea is to focus on communication, not perfection. Many learners stop speaking because they are afraid of mistakes. But mistakes are part of learning. They show that you are trying, and trying is what leads to improvement. When you speak, try to express your ideas clearly. Do not worry if your sentences are simple. Simple English can still be very effective. What matters is that people understand you. Clarity is more important than complexity. Listening and speaking should always go together. When you hear something useful, try to repeat it. This connects input and output. It trains your brain to respond faster. Over time, this becomes natural. You should also challenge yourself with new content. Try listening to slightly more difficult material. This helps you grow and expand your vocabulary. It also exposes you to new sentence patterns. Growth comes from challenge. Another useful method is to speak out loud even when you are alone. Describe your actions or your thoughts. This builds confidence without pressure. It also keeps your English active. Regular use is very important. At this stage, you should start trusting your instincts more. You do not need to analyze every sentence. Your brain is learning patterns naturally. Let it work without too much control. This makes your speech smoother. Try to reduce pauses when you speak. Pauses often happen when you overthink. Instead, keep your sentences simple and continue speaking. Flow is more important than perfection. This builds confidence. You should also enjoy the learning process more. When you enjoy something, you do it more often. Find topics and content that interest you. This makes practice feel natural. Enjoyment increases consistency. Another idea is to record yourself speaking. Then listen and notice your progress. This helps you see improvement over time. It also shows areas you can work on. Self-feedback is very useful. Do not compare yourself to others too much. Everyone learns at a different speed. Focus on your own journey. Small progress is still progress. Stay patient and keep going. If you continue practicing in this way, your English will sound more natural over time. You will feel more comfortable speaking in different situations. Your confidence will grow step by step, and communication will become easier for you. As you move forward, you may start noticing that your speaking feels less forced. Words begin to come more naturally, without too much effort. This happens because your brain is building connections through practice. You are no longer relying only on memorized rules. This is a strong sign of improvement. At this stage, it is important to keep your practice consistent. Even if you feel tired or busy, try to do something small. A few minutes of speaking or listening is enough. What matters is keeping the habit alive. Consistency builds long-term results. You might also notice that you understand more when you listen. This is because your exposure to natural English is increasing. Your brain becomes familiar with common patterns and expressions. This makes comprehension easier over time. and better listening leads to better speaking. Another helpful idea is to react to what you hear. When you listen to a sentence, pause and respond out loud. This creates a mini conversation. It trains your brain to think and answer quickly. This is very useful for real-life communication. You should also start focusing more on your tone and emotion. Natural English is not only about words, but also about how you say them. Try to express feelings like excitement, surprise, or interest. This makes your speech more engaging. It also makes you sound more human. Many learners forget about emotion when speaking. They focus only on correctness. But real communication includes feeling and expression. When you add emotion, your English becomes more natural. It sounds less robotic and more alive. Another technique is to slow down slightly when practicing. This helps you focus on clarity and pronunciation. Speaking too fast can create mistakes and confusion. Controlled speed improves quality. Then, over time, your speed will increase naturally. You should also continue practicing shadowing regularly. Choose short clips and repeat them several times. Try to match the speaker's rhythm and tone. This builds muscle memory in your speech. It helps you sound smoother. It is also helpful to learn from your mistakes after speaking. Think about what you could say better next time. But do not interrupt yourself too much during conversation. Keep your flow and reflect later. This balance is important. Another idea is to expand your range of topics. Talk about different subjects like daily life, plans, or opinions. This pushes your vocabulary and thinking ability. It also prepares you for real conversations. Variety helps growth. You may also start noticing that you use phrases automatically. This is a very good sign. It means your practice is working. You are building natural speech patterns. This is exactly what you want. Try to stay relaxed when you speak. Stress and tension can block your thinking. When you are calm, your ideas flow more easily. Relaxation improves fluency. Confidence grows in a calm state. Another helpful habit is to imagine real-life situations. Picture yourself speaking with someone, then practice what you would say. This prepares your brain for real conversations. It reduces hesitation. You should also keep your expectations realistic. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. But every step brings you closer. Stay patient and consistent. If you continue practicing these habits, your English will keep improving. You will sound more natural and confident. Communication will feel easier and smoother, and you will enjoy speaking more every day. As you continue, you may notice that your speaking feels more automatic. You do not need to search for every word anymore. Your brain starts forming sentences naturally. This is a result of consistent exposure and practice. It shows that your efforts are working. At this stage, it is important to keep using English actively. Do not go back to only passive learning. Speaking should remain a regular part of your routine. Even short practice sessions are valuable. Regular use keeps your skills strong. You may still make mistakes, and that is completely normal. Even fluent speakers make small errors sometimes. What matters is that you keep communicating. Mistakes do not stop your progress. Avoiding practice does. Another helpful idea is to focus on clarity when you speak. Make sure your message is easy to understand. You do not need complex vocabulary for that. Simple and clear language is often the best choice. It helps you communicate effectively. You should also continue listening to different types of English. This exposes you to various accents and styles. It makes your understanding more flexible. It also improves your ability to respond. Variety strengthens your skill. Try to respond quickly in conversations without overthinking. Your first response is often good enough. Overthinking can slow you down. Trust your instincts more. This builds confidence over time. You can also challenge yourself by speaking about new topics. Talk about your opinions or experiences. This pushes your thinking ability in English. It also helps you expand your vocabulary. Growth comes from trying new things. Another important habit is to stay consistent even when you feel less motivated. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Small daily effort is enough to maintain progress. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Just start. You should also enjoy your progress and recognize how far you have come. Many learners forget to do this. They focus only on what they cannot do yet, but noticing improvement keeps you motivated. It gives you confidence. Another useful technique is to keep repeating useful expressions. This strengthens your memory and fluency. The more you repeat, the easier it becomes. Repetition builds automatic speaking. This is how natural speech develops. You may also find that you start thinking in English more often. This is a big step forward. It means your brain is adapting to the language. You are reducing translation. This makes speaking faster and smoother. Keep your sentences simple and clear during conversations. You do not need to impress anyone with difficult words. Communication is the main goal. Simple language works best in most situations. It keeps your speech natural. You should also stay relaxed and confident while speaking. Stress can block your ability to think clearly. When you are calm, your speech flows better. Confidence grows with practice. Keep putting yourself in speaking situations. Remember that learning a language is a journey, not a race. Everyone moves at a different speed. What matters is that you keep going. Consistency always brings results. Stay patient and focused. If you continue applying these ideas, your English will sound more natural every day. You will speak with more ease and confidence. Conversations will feel less stressful and more enjoyable, and you will become a more effective communicator. All right, that's it for today's episode. I hope these 7 simple ways help you sound more natural and confident in your English. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being real and comfortable when you speak. Focus on using the language every day, even in small ways. If you found this helpful, keep practicing and try to apply at least one tip from this episode today. The more you use English, the more natural it will feel. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how real progress happens. Just keep going and trust the process. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode here on BetterTalk English. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep improving every single day.